Okay, so let's jump into the Concourse syllabus. This is for adjunct faculty who, or any faculty in the composition, creative writing, and literature program. So teaching usually English 101, 102, but also WAC 101, possible reading courses, E&H courses, all that fun stuff. We've been creating resources to try and help faculty know expectations. So just as a first step, Chandler Gilbert uses the Concourse syllabus as a way to stay aligned with HLC requirements. And so having all the core information in the same setup, structure, and whatnot in a system that can be reviewed when it comes time for accreditation re-ups. And there are official terms for these, but I'm just doing the fast version. Having all of it in one place is really good for us. It makes it a lot easier for those checking to make sure we're doing all the things we're supposed to do, to be able to see, especially since the Canvas system doesn't hang on to things after a couple of years. Section numbers get cycled and all that. The other side of this is having an archived version of the Concourse syllabus in your syllabus with all the things on it, including readings and things. We'll talk about that. Allows for there to be a document that students can use if they're transferring to institutions that don't exactly know what our courses look like or what their version of our courses might look like. And so it can be a really good thing for the sake of students. So with that, let's jump into what we do need. First, when you do get this syllabus, it's going to have some things on it that you want to go into. When you go into the edit form as a faculty member, there are all these fun tips that you can see, and I'm not going to look through all of them right now. But you do need to read through them if this is your first time doing this, and even then, sometimes things get added. So it's good to take a scan, but I'm going to try and walk through some of the things that that as a division we've decided are important, and as a college we've decided are important or necessary to have in there. So some of this is going to auto-populate for you on the syllabus page, and then some of it you can load in. So you have to be careful when you're going to copy an old syllabus, if you've done this before, to make sure not to override information. So be really careful which sections you choose, but doing the actual copying of Concourse syllabus is not what this video is about. This is for when it comes time to make sure that your syllabus has everything it's supposed to have. We want our syllabuses submitted by the end of the first week of class. And so what we're looking for is that it has all of these basic things, and I'll use our cheat sheet that Kate Hope, I believe, has put together for us. It's to help us ensure all essential components of our courses are complete and customized prior to publishing. So that's an important thing. And so if you have questions about this, you can contact, at least right now, us three for sure, about any of these things. So I'm usually, in my current role, is onboarding and adjunct liaison or faculty onboarding. I'm doing some of the hands-on stuff, and then Kate is coordinating FYC and in support of David, who's being chair of the division. So I kind of see it as three umbrellas. I'm just the guy who helps people get stuff done and figure out the logistics of things. I'm also a big pedagogy nerd, so these are things that happen. Anyway, so you can see that anything in the yellow you want to go through and make sure you touch. And as we said, syllabi are due by Friday. We want to make sure our meeting times are correct, so that's one of the first things we do. Is this what Find a Class says is supposed to be there? I like to add in a time commitments video, but you don't have to. You do want to make sure you follow the guidelines to make sure your number of hours are correct. My class is a little bit of a weird one, so the numbers, you go into a chart and following this link or another one in the editing mode that you can see. If you have questions, you can contact me. We'll look at your specific course. And then you have contact information. This is how I do mine, but I'm a weirdo and give students a cell phone. You can just have email, and you should have where you're accessible, and when you have office hours. I still need to put my office hours on campus in, but that will need to be there soon. Technically, this class started today, so that's why it's not in there yet. Yay. I also usually provide some sort of Google Meet link or a way to sign up. There are communication policies. Some of that language is pre-built, and others you can customize within reason. You want to make sure that your refund deadline matches what's in your Find a Class as well. And then you should have your standard course descriptions and things. Some of these are going to populate no matter what. And so those are all good. Let's make sure before I get too far ahead. So use the document provided to calculate the number of hours students should expect to devote to the class each week. As you saw my math out there, this number is based on modality, credit hour, and the length of the course. At a bare minimum, it's good to reinforce the national standard that 1 credit hour in your transcript should equal 3 hours of work in a full semester course, 3 hours of work per week per credit hour. That's a good place to start, but there are official numbers that should go into your Concourse syllabus. And so, yeah, you want to make sure all of these things are good. Other things that are important, let students know the how, where, and when they should contact you. If you have office hours, residential faculty are required to hold I believe it's 1 office hour in person on campus per course, and adjunct faculty, it's as needed. You're welcome to hold office hours and do conferences, but right now, as of 2025 fall, the faculty agreement didn't require it. If this changes, pay attention to the emails you get from your chair, or talk with me about it if you're not sure. So yeah. Follow those instructions. Make sure your contact information is good. Make sure that it'd be preferred to use the cgc.edu email you have in Canvas inbox. If you're another part of Maricopa, or you have another email you use for another college, you still should, for professionalism's sake, probably use this one. Okay, moving on. Clarify, along with any additional statements, your expectations around communication. Make sure it's really clear what students should expect from you, how soon you can respond, and what expectation you have of them in response, especially if you're going to put some sort of need to respond in the as part of withdrawal policies or late work policies or missing class or something, attendance policies. Make sure it's really clear. This is a technical document. It's meant to be kind of a legal document of the course and a contract between you and the students. And it's good to it can be good to reinforce that with them. RSI is for all asynchronous online classes. That's regular and substantive interaction. And so basically there are things that guide that. You should look into it if this applies to you. I'm not going to go into it now because I want to make sure we cover what needs to be, and we can always drill down and create other videos later. You do want to have how you're going to interact with students. You want to say how you're going to interact with classmates, or how they interact with each other, and so on. And then these are some sample policies. On materials, this is something that we continue to need to reinforce. You do need to have something that lists out your materials. You can't just say see assignment descriptions, because that goes away. So if we come back with HLC in a year or 2 or 4, there's no longer a record of what your course actually holds, or if the student wants to transfer, there's no way for us to get a syllabus in connection with whatever articulation or matriculation agreements there are. So we want to make sure that we list core textbooks. We also, I'll show you one thing that I do. So I've got my core textbook, and then I also have the list of additional PDFs, and usually has the author, the name, the year of publication. And so you could do this in APA format, MLA format, whatever. This at least gets some of the information. If anyone comes to look, some of these are going to be familiar. I could do better, but this is the first semester we're really doing it. So I was a little rushed. But yeah, so beyond that, there are third-party learning tools. You do want to make sure if you're using any fun things like this, any fun technologies. I even have a class for my mythology where they use D&D Beyond. And so having terms of use links or accessibility statements, that is something you do want to have in your syllabus to make sure students can access that and read it. Whether they do or not, that's up to them. We also want a statement regarding generative AI, and there are 3 sample ones in there. We are working on some options specific to our division, but that's still in the works. If we ever decide to spread those more widely, we'll let you know. You can add, well, it looks like there might be a division policy, but maybe I haven't seen it yet. Sorry. We want to include major assignments materials, or sorry. Major assignments and activities and that sort of thing. So what do assignments look like? Give students at least the basic rundown. You are going to also have due dates in the in another space down below, but a short description of what this will be. Sometimes it's helpful to also include word count and a number of sources and that sort of thing, just some basics to, here on the syllabus, so that if people come back, and you can, I haven't done it on this course, I'm still laying them out, but you do want to get those in there, and that way when people come back, they can see that you are meeting, that you've designed a course and have told students this is going to be something that will align with the requirements according to the Maricopa description here. So at a minimum, we do have that it says there will be 3,000 words and at least 4 or more writing projects, and what counts as a project is still kind of up for grabs, but that 300 words, etc., should be happening. We've got our major assignments. We should have late policies as you like them, a grade breakdown of some kind, and let's see what we have over here. So yeah, make that according to how you build your course. If you have questions about it, we can dig in one-on-one. You can message me or one of the other leads of the division or the chair. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything. It can be good to highlight what style if it matters. The things that matter to you should be in the Concourse syllabus. It's okay to play with the formatting on some of those. There are also some core policies, and there should definitely be a late policy, and there should also be an attendance policy and expectation policy, which when you go into the Concourse syllabus, I'll show you that thing later. There is a specific way they want you to edit and include text here, so make sure that you've done for your specific modality what the college is looking for, and that's built into the editing mode of the Concourse syllabus. And then we have a bunch of policies that do get regenerated course to course to course. You can adapt or change some of those, but not all of those. There are also tabs, some things, resources down here for support if that automatically get populated as well, and things there. There should also always be the syllabus is subject to change. We're going to try and hold to this, but the instructor reserves the right to adjust the syllabus during the course, and students will get notified. Which means if you change the syllabus or some major part of the course, you should be telling students as soon as you can. So keep that in mind. One last thing, just to show how this part here, the course calendar, don't just put assignments will be made visible by your instructor, in the the instructions for the assignments will be in the assignments. Whatever the default statement is there isn't good enough. So what you can do instead, what I like to do is I'll go into the course schedule. So let me just do this. It might not always be visible, so sometimes you have to make it active as part of the course navigation, even though technically I have it hidden for students. When I go here, I have all of my due dates listed in order. So if I've built the course out, all of those assignments, I can then highlight from here all the way down. We're going to ignore that. I can go copy paste, assuming this doesn't do something funny. So I can copy paste after highlighting that whole list of deadlines, and then come back to the Concourse syllabus and paste it in, and it will show up in this format you see here. Easy peasy, nothing too crazy. You can get a feel for it's just really fast. That's the fast version of the Concourse syllabus. It's possible I missed a thing or two, or it's possible that we may update some of this as we realize we missed a piece of information. And so always be always read emails that your chair, your first year comp coordinator, or any of the lead faculty from your division send you, because that's just cool to do. Especially since they have meaningful information about what's expected of you and what we might need from you, or the college might need from you as an instructor. Ultimately, we're all here to support your success and the success of students in your class. And so this is the fast version, just a crash course in what Concourse syllabus expectations will look like. The last part is, do know that we as division leads will be going and reviewing your Concourse syllabus statements, or Concourse syllabus as a whole, and making sure all these pieces are here. So all these pieces should be there. We're going to look, you'll get feedback from us. You should respond to that if there is any. If you don't know how to submit that to us, you can basically go audit and change this to submitted for review and press update. If you want, you can put a message. I can't remember, check David's instructions about auditors or editors because I can't remember if it set it up here to make sure I don't tell you the wrong thing. But I don't think it mentioned it here. So it just says audit tab. So that's how you submit it. And if you get feedback from us saying you're missing core parts of your syllabus, then you need to go back and fix that and make sure that we can see it. And you'll get feedback in the same menu or through email, if I'm remembering correctly. And so just to end with a showing of some of the editing functions. So again, you can look through here. Everything in the yellow will be guided if it says required or required if. You want to follow that. There will be links to Google Docs that are resources. It can feel overwhelming, and especially if you're someone who knows what they're doing as far as having a pre-built syllabus, just because you have a syllabus you've used at another institution doesn't mean it has everything that's required by CGC or our division, and doesn't necessarily mean it has the same mindset for accreditation that we aim to have. And CGC tends to be a really good example of best practices. So if you see something in here, being part of Maricopa, I'm kind of proud of our awareness of the requirements from a legal standpoint. Or from a matriculation standpoint. So do look through here and follow these instructions and make sure that core part of your job is done. There are ways to, like you see me here, you can embed videos if you know how to use HTML, right? I have been able to do this before. I go grab one of my YouTube videos, get the embed link, or any other resource for that matter. And so you can use that there. This guy, yeah, I should work on that still. But that's neither here nor there. Hopefully this video was helpful, and happy teaching. Remember, we're here to support you.